Excess consumption of drugs and alcohol can prematurely speed up the process of your death. There once was a boy who drank, smoked, injected, inhaled, and took substances both prescribed and otherwise obtained. He wondered why his brain was reluctant to comply when he tried to avoid the unwanted munchies or dredge up memories, not merely reluctant to surface but completely absent from the landscape of his mind. He would hallucinate frequently. He alienated his friends and family. They didn't know what to do with him. He was such a waster. He just loafed around the house all day. He partied heartily every night until he collapsed into bed. When attempting to go cold turkey, he broke out in the chilly shivers. He damaged his liver. His quiver was full of quinine. He wasn't quite so cunning, running away from his former life, nicotine-stained fingers, and a completely changed mind. He wasn't being kind to himself. The only way he was taught how to treat himself was with cruelty. He began to hear voices in his head telling him to go out and kill someone instead of letting them live like he normally would do if he was in his right mind. But if you shoot one person, you may have to destroy more lives. If there's any eyewitnesses, you must bury bodies who could give evidence of your crimes. You may not know your own strength when you punch someone. You may cause them to bleed to death. If you get drunk as a skunk, you might smash up someone's trunk or wake up mesmerized in a stranger's bed. Las Vegas style, messed up by your vile intent, corrupted innocence as they take advantage of you sexually when your brain's far too insanely addled to hold them accountable or identify the culprit in a lineup. You may find your clothes being stripped and ripped off if you go to that party, if you gobble those Smarties, if you unwittingly sip that spiked punch. Everyone who sells alcohol and drugs to minors should be taken out into the woods and shot on sight. Their blood smeared all over the tree trunks, and you wonder why your timber was the shade of a scarlet rose. Connect the threads together. Heads are severed from bodies still attached to them. You grow quite fond of it, hanging around your neck, stuck there on top of it. You lost yours when you licked that psychotropic toad, when you drank that bitter tasting root, chasing it down with fizzy beverages and cotton candy. Brandy snaps her fingers and you come running after her, smuggling a few stiff gins into your tent. This is how daughters end up pregnant by their own fathers, and sisters wind up getting raped by candy. By randy wicked brothers, kissing cousins, toasting their souls in ovens, roasting in bowls of fire, buried only a few feet under the earth, not enough to sink a coffin in the dirt. How can you heal your hurts? Sticking this poison in you is the only way you know how to deal with your psychic wounds. Just ignore the problem and it will go away of its own accord. That's what liars say to try and convince themselves they don't have an issue. Will the friars and imams tell you, stick a little bag of coins in my hand, please, cross my palm with silver and I'll cure you of all your ills. I'll tell you what you need to know to fix yourself once and for all. Forced sterilization, masticating, mutilation may help to prevent the spread of sexually transmitted diseases caused by a loss of inhibitions or the ambitions of a female driven by loneliness and a low opinion of herself. With cash register-like dollar signs glimmering in her eyes, shimmering in the strobe light, mirror balls entrancing your mind, she is dancing ever closer to you. Don't let her touch you down there unless she wears your wedding ring on her finger. Likewise, don't respond by stroking her nipples unless your heart has been bonded to hers in holy matrimony. Stay away from those pretty petals budding and blossoming on her chest. Keep away from those ripe melon mountains. Let joy burst like a fountain from gentler pursuits that don't generate as much heat. Though they may seem trivial by comparison, at least they won't get her pregnant in the process. And you won't have a mine shaft full of unwanted babies on your hands, swimming up Duff Creek without a paddle board. It's tragic to see mothers abandon their babies just because it's not convenient to keep them. Some of them are selfish and self-absorbed. Others are alcoholics who would rather spend money on booze instead of milk for babies. Bottles or nappies to cover their bleeding bottoms, oozing fecal decals, stuck on your freshly polished glass floor, making you drop your jaw in shock. Coming from the school of hard knocks, with rocks in your pockets, a rocket to the stars, left to rust and self-dismantle, rotting away in your backyard, useless chunks of metal welded together, blowing up before it could ever pierce the clouds. Well, you've acted like a harlequin. You know exactly what went down, sweet Lady Jester. A festering wound keeps lingering, finger in your necklace. Gone without a trace, leaving no fixed address, unable to be hunted by those collecting debts, mounting up the amount you owe. They keep on adding to the sum you have drunken all your wages. What does it profit you to get stoned? It may benefit the bones of a wall formed by encamping around your property. The fulfillment of prophecy. You knew this was going to happen if you didn't treat other people properly. Your sloppy dismissal of their worth and value was a reflection of the drunken, monstrous scoundrel talking, not the innocent kid you once were, who went astray one sunny day, falling in with a bad crowd. They say bad company corrupts good morals, but nobody parted your lips and forced the contents of that bottle down your throat. It really gets my goat grinding my gears to ash to see these folks purchase intoxicating effluent-like substances for their kids to consume after they have graduated on holidays away from home for the most part. Surely they know it's causing their brain cells to deteriorate. Why do they think being inebriated is such fun, when you may wake up in a pool of your own vomit, emerge from your slumber penniless because you got robbed by the dealer, or a promise from a creeper who only wanted to fill you up, chew you like gum, then spits you out their lips, twisted out of shape by bitterness. Don't become like them. Don't be another statistic. You ain't going out like that. I'm determined you won't get caught in a trap like so many others, falling through a door in the floor you can't easily crawl your way out of, 'cause addictions are invisible chains, enemies convincing you that they're your fondest friends. Don't let them erode your convictions. There are better ways to celebrate turning 21 than getting blotto. Proceed with caution should be your motto. Don't look to solutions in abortions. They will only damage your body and leave your conscience guilty, affecting your ability to have a little one comfortably at a time of your own choosing. I know you feel like you're losing the fight, but hang in there, my friend. You will see the light glowing at the end of the tunnel, the one hastily assembled in your heart by angels' hands. No matter what kind of prohibitions are enshrined in our Constitution, we will try to find a way to make a contribution to their eradication, to our own detriment. It's the nature of humans cursed by sin to be willfully rebellious. Some don't care about going to jail and never being able to earn an honest living because you've gained a criminal record for yourself. You can't afford to do the time for the crime and take care of your family, so some other chick or dude sleeps with your spouse or substitute sloppy second place runner-up to the way God intended relationships to be. Can you see? A wild party of key-swapping and club-hopping, panty-dropping may lead to worse consequences than a throbbing pain in the brain or blood trickling. A lagoon moonlit between your legs. Crawl your way out this labyrinth if you dare. Methamphetamines may cause you confusion over your gender identity. Are you free to make your own decisions? You may be big and old enough, but are you wise? Does maturity arrive with age, or is it still born in some of us? Did it miscarry before its birth, prior to our arrival on this earth? Like Paul says, all things are permissible, but not all are beneficial. Do you really want to ruin your life? Short-circuit your educational opportunities thanks to your vocational endeavors? Did you sacrifice your motivation to get out of bed every morning? What did you allow to sneak inside your mind? The ruffian you thought you'd never become is staring back at you in the mirror right now.